Hello everyone, I am Bradley Sward, Associate Professor of Computer and Information Science at the College of DuPage in Glen Ellen, Illinois. And this video is going to take a look at Advent of Code 2020, Day 6, Festivities in the Python Programming Language. So here is my code, here is the problem, where is my data set? There's my data set. So the first thing I want to do is basically just jam there's a new line character separating groups. And what I want to do is basically go ahead and jam everything into one long string. And that's what the first part of my code does. I start with a string, and I go for every line in my in that file. If the line is not empty string, then add it to the string. And then for this case, like how many people have voted, every line is a person. So I'm saying, okay, one extra person, peopleAll. That's for part 2 of this. The any part is for part 1, the alls are for part 2. So anyway, but that was one person. And so I go and I add to the string and add to the string and add to the string. And then at the end of the day, when I hit that new line, then I know that I'm done. And then I come down here and I have to process that data. And that's what this code here does. And I can prove to you that if I go and at least print string without showing any answers here, you can see that everything's been reduced down to a long string of data. And so all the character data, from here, all of this if you go to let's see if we can get to the first one easy here. There it is. You can see that it's combined the 2 lines together into one, and this has combined the 3 lines together into one, and so forth and so on. So now we have a nice, easy way to progress through this. And so I can get rid of this code here, and I can say, okay, now for part 1, I need to know just how many of the letters have at least 1 in them. And so I go for character, and I'm going through, there's 26 spots, 1 for every letter in the alphabet. And let me see if this is the ORD of A is what I'm looking for. I'm just trying to find the ASCII value of the character. I'm trying to subtract off the ASCII value of A, which happens to be that number I showed you, to get a number between 0 and 26. And then I'm going into this list and adding 1. I'm doing that for every character along the way here. And for part 1, totalAny, I just have to make sure that for that number inside of here, that it's at least 1 or above, or just greater than 0. So I'm just saying, okay, if that's the case, this is a relational operator. It's going to come back true, false, or 0, 1. So this is going to add 1 if there's at least 1 character in the string, and it's not going to add 1 if there isn't. And the same thing kind of goes here. Part 2, again, the only difference in part 2 is that when you're going ahead and doing this is that you just have to make sure that the number in that particular element for every element is equal to the number of people that voted. But that's it. So you're summing and summing and summing and summing and summing until the file exhausts. And each time I'm done, I just have to make sure that I bring my string back to empty, because otherwise it's going to keep on adding because there's nothing else telling it to stop. And then I'm going to have to say peopleAll equals 0 because there's a new group ahead to reprocess everything. And so coming back, this is what you're all here for, right? Brad, what is the answer? And my answers come out 7,027 and 3,579, which, lo and behold, 7,027, 3,579. Those are the answers to the problem. So I hope this was enlightening for those of you who wanted to be enlightening, and for the rest of you, you have your answer. So it is enlightening. So as always, if you know a better way to do this, you guys have been great lately, showing me all these new ways and teaching me all the joys of Python. And there's always there's a magic way to do this. Show me that magic way. Python seems to be just magic. It's such a cool language. I'm just, in these last 5 days, having so much fun with it. So anyway, thanks as always. I hope tomorrow is fun and I can get it done by midnight, like like all the others I've been doing for the most part. Thanks for sticking with me. Have a great day, everybody.